Hello, and a really warm welcome to the channel. Now, if you've not looked in before, why don't you stay and see a little bit about some vintage train sets, because let me tell you, even if you're into new DCC modelling, there's still a lot of fun to be had from these older items. And on my channel, I like to show you the collection I've built up over the years and how it still runs so well today. We're going to run this set. It's a lovely Hornby Dublo 2-rail train set, and it's number 2024. It's a 280 express goods train. It's got the powerful 8F in there. We're going to look at that in a bit. I'll just put that to the side and maybe just have a little bit of coffee, keep my throat working. Look at that, the pig of happiness. He's got a smile on him. Now, after everything that's going on in the world recently, I think I'm going to focus on that a bit. So what train sets have I got to show you for next time? We've got a Hornby Dublo 3-rail set and a Wren Railways goods set. Now, we've had many of these manufacturers sets on. Well, we've had one Wren set, but we've had a few Hornby Dublo. But let me show you the boxes, what's in them. And I always like to read your comments. And even though both are definitely going to be run, it's always a great bit of fun to know which one you'd like to see first. So look at this. This has been well played with, hasn't it? Lots of wear where the track's been in and out, and the track's a little bit bent here and there. It's been on the floor, it's been everywhere, but we'll get it working. And there's a few extra bits in here. Look at that, a lovely signal. The rolling stock still looks good. There's a water crane. And the main item, quite a nice 264 loco. This Hornby Dublo model, that's so heavy, but a beautiful item, still looking good in its matte black BR livery. I don't think it's going to take too much to coax that into life. I think it would be good to show you the inside of that when I do. Now, what paperwork's with this set? Well, there's a sort of generic instruction sheet, lots of different chassis in here. We'll take a look at that in more detail when we run the set. And something a little bit different, I think this is like a track plan book. And there's look at this, W.H. Johnson, Abington Street, Northampton. Well, I've not heard of that establishment before. And look, guarantee slip, other, just, I think it's more like a track plan book, but it's a great thing, and we'll look at that when we run the set. So let me just see whether I can get the lid back on. So that's the Hornby Dublo item, and then look at this. I've got to get this into shot because that's a great picture, isn't it? Almost looks like a Terence Cuneo picture there. Lovely illustration. Now look, you can see what we're up against. This has been stored somewhere, pot of paint on there or something, condensation and rust, and that's the story inside the box. But we'll get it going. Look, set 2, freight, power controller not included. Well, that's no problem, we can find something. £20.37. Well, I would imagine that's a hefty price to pay in the early 1970s. But look inside this box. I just love these colourful Wren wagons. If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know I run them on my main railway. But they look in quite good condition, don't they? But here's where the story's told. Look, let me put this bit of track just on the polystyrene and see whether the camera will do its work. Quite a bit of corrosion, unfortunately. So this has been in a moisture-rich environment, hasn't it? Lots of different parts of this track will need cleaning if we're going to try and use it. But look, still ancient rubber bands holding it all together. So very little, if any, use. Now, if I can just briefly try and lift the loco out with one hand. It's quite snug in this polystyrene. There we go. I'm just going to stand it there. Hold on. Right, I'll bring it back into frame. Now look at that. Great livery. G.W.R. Lovely shadowed letters there. This is just a real development on the loco we saw in the old Hornby Dublo box, but obviously a little bit more modern nickel wheels, slightly different wound armature. You can perhaps just see that in there. Look at those windings, absolutely immaculate, probably virtually the same condition as when they came out of Basildon, the factory of Wren. So I think the loco is probably okay. It doesn't seem to have suffered too badly from the effects of the moisture, and yet again that'll be another one that I like to get running and enjoy showing you. Look at this, just a interesting little piece of paper that the model shop has put in there. Your Wren set has been tested for quality by our model department. Well, I would imagine if there's no customers, getting these sets out and testing everything was probably a good way to pass a bit of time if you work there. I just wonder whether I can ease that back in. Just want to be a little bit gentle with it there. So yeah, slightly water damage, but that will come back to life. Let's get the lid back on and show you both the sets. So we've got the Wren good set with an oval of track, and we've got the Hornby Dublo 3-rail set. So let me know which one you'd like to see running next. I'll really enjoy reading through your comments. Okay, I'm going to tidy these two out of the way, finish my coffee, and we'll get straight into looking in that lovely Hornby Dublo 2-rail freight set. Okay, well, I'm going to try and take you through the items in this set, so I hope I can get them in camera nicely when the time comes. But look, very similar picture, if not the same picture that's on the Wren set. So I just noticed this. I'm just going to reach over and get the lid off the Wren set. So there's the Hornby Dublo set, and then I think that is an enlargement of the same picture. You've got the Caledonian and possibly the Duchess of Montrose, so that looks like what they've done. Just a slight bit of interest there. Okay, so let's put the lid aside, and we've got a bit of paperwork to just have a quick look at. Very nice warranty guarantee card, seen them before. Now I have got this white glove on for handling some of the items because just want to take a bit of special care when lubricating the bearing. Let's see, can you see that? When lubricating the bearing at the commutator end of the armature, 1 drop of oil every 25 hours running time. Goodness me, every 25 hours. I'm wondering how long model trains are designed to run for before they just need a new throwaway motor. And don't think I'm getting at you if you've got modern items. They are lovely, but it's just the move away from servicing and changing brushes to the whole replacement of a motor is just something I'm not 100% come to terms with. Look at this, there's the big Ringfield motor, and then I think there's some details about cleaning the brushes or the brush springs. A lovely piece of paper. And what else have we got? Hornby Railway Company application for membership, so something you could join to get newsletters, no doubt. I think most people have heard of the Meccano magazine, a publication that ran for many decades. Lots of I mean, they're fantastic if you can ever get hold of one just to read from a second-hand shop or a car boot. Just the stuff, even the adverts are worth reading, all the things you could get. So where shall I start here? Let's just look at the track. This, we've seen this before, this wonderful 2-rail track from Hornby Dublo, very realistic, code 100, and I have been looking at putting this together. And look at me fiddling around on the camera, but these are so tight, these fish plates. I'm not going to put this together. We're going to run this on the main lines. It's an express good set. I think it will like to stretch its legs, so rather than putting this ring of track together, I don't think I'm going to do that. It's a little bit too good. Right, what have we got here then? Well, here's a guards van. Now, I did ease these out of the cardboard, but you wouldn't know. And this is what we're up against. Unfortunately, there's some staining there on the roof. I rather think that's probably contamination from oily fingers on the side. Bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Same on the fish van, the insulated van. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, but it's just the plastic's not aged well, and I just wonder whether that is just due to the plastic aging, or whether there's been, it looks like where a thumb might have been to me, but I could be wrong. Some lovely rolling stock though, and we're into these newer Hornby Dublo super detail wagons, so we've got plastic, moulded plastic, lots of detail. Very nice items. Still got the lovely heavy metal chassis though. These aren't pinpoints, they run on little bearings, but they are nylon, and with a small amount of oil you can see they run beautifully. I had high hopes for this wagon, but look at the top. Deterioration here, so whether this is damp related or yet again some sort of contamination, I don't know, but still a great item for the age, and it's going to look good behind that powerful 8F. Possibly my favourite wagon from this selection, this well wagon, Hornby Dublo, made in England. No attempt to hide that print, is there? But look, it's beautiful, and yet again discoloration where a thumb might have been, but still it's going to be great to run. Now, before we get to the loco, there's a couple of other items. There's a little, we've seen one before on the channel, but there's a little tube of lubricant. It's been well used, so this model's definitely been run at some stage, but it's still a nice thing to have, isn't it? And then just here there's a plastic bag that's sealed up, and I believe these are clips to hold the track from drifting apart, but with those fish plates that's not going to happen. There appears to be a brass nut in there as well, so considering it's sealed, that's quite strange. Right, well, let's get to this powerful 8F loco. I'm just going to ease it out. Now I want to try and get this fully, hopefully, into shot so you can see the condition of it, and it is lovely. Very minimal damage to the paintwork and decals. There's a safety valve on the top that's gone a bit green, but apart from that I can't see much wrong with it. Ah, well, there's something, the tender, we've got yeah, that decal seems a little bit, I hope that's in focus, I can't tell, but it seems a little bit faint, so whether it was just not applied properly, I don't know. But what a superb looking loco, and believe it or not, this ran virtually straight out of the box. I didn't have to take the top off, so I've just put a little bit of white lubricant on the gear there, general oiling, hardly any, and you won't believe it, but this is probably the quietest of the 8F models I have from Wren or Hornby Dublo. Another reason why I want to run it on the Super 4 main lines, and there hopefully you can see part of the really excellent Ringfield motor. Obviously not much cab detail apart from motor parts, but just a superbly made model, designed to run for years and years. Absolutely, with correct servicing, something that will last and last. But I'm excited now. I want to get this on the main lines, so I'm going to pop all this onto the track, and then we'll have a little bit of running. Okay, well, there's that 8F. Got it on the outer of the double track loops, and it's ready to go on the downward main line. So I just need to get over to my point switches and sort out point B, and then I think all being well, I'm going to start easing this out. So it's got to go down the long straight bit, and there's a little bit of movement. Look at this. We're not going to do fast running with this for a start, so I'm just easing it along the side. We'll get it onto the main line. So it's going through points B onto the main line. I'm just going to reach and put points B to main line running. And now it's picking up a bit of speed. This is why it's an express goods set, isn't it? So let's slow it down a bit so you can just hear how quiet it runs. Just the heavy noise of the die-cast model going over the diamonds and the points. So it's going past that long train from the previous video, the double header, the green princess. So I'm going to try and get this down now to quite a nice speed so we can just get some close-up shots. So just over the diamond, over points B. You might notice I'm in a bit of a mess up here. The floor needs a hoovering. Try not to spend too much time looking at that. A few dead flies fallen out of the velluxes. But I have given the layout a little bit of a clean. So let's just see if I can get a little closer to it. Could hardly hear that Ringfield motor. Now I noticed on the little notice about over-oiling there was a date 1961, so that's possibly when we'll more or less say this set's from. Just look and listen to how this early 1960s model runs. Well, I am going to see if I can just reduce the speed a little bit more so we can get some nice slower running. And I'll follow it round for a couple more loops. Well, I hope you've enjoyed seeing this set out. Hope you're not disappointed I didn't run it on its own track, but I just thought I just couldn't get over how nicely the loco performed, and I just wanted to get it on the main layout. I look forward to hearing which of the other sets interest you the most. And I'll leave you with the Hornby Dublo 8F. So until the next video, for now, I'll say goodbye.